Welcome back to part 2 of professional self care. Caring for yourself at work is important, but so is caring for yourself outside of work. Let's talk about work life balance. So, what exactly is it? According to Iowa AEA, a work life balance is the amount of time you spend doing your job compared with the amount of time you spend with your family and doing things you enjoy. A poor work life balance can look like high levels of employee stress, taking a lot of time off work to deal with emergencies, feeling overwhelmed, you're sick a lot or miss work a lot in general. You find yourself working overtime and you notice you're decreasing in productivity. On the flip side, a good work life balance can look like time designated to specific tasks. You have boundaries with your boss. You feel more present in the moment. You have a dedicated time of day when you stop doing work tasks. You're having success at home and work. You use your time off. You're able to participate in your hobbies. You feel more engaged and productive at work. Having a proper work life balance will help decrease the stress in your life, and it'll help you stay and feel healthier. You'll also feel more refreshed and ready to take on the day. Everyone deserves a work life balance, so please don't ever feel guilty for incorporating it into your lifestyle. Now let's switch gears for a minute and consider conflict management at work. According to Coursera.org, conflict management is known as the way you handle disagreements. Unfortunately, in the working world, it's not always possible to avoid conflict. So it's important and useful to talk about what you should do if you ever find yourself in a conflict at work, especially if the conflict is with a superior or boss. During working hours, you may find yourself running into conflicts of different kinds. It could be about power dynamics, differing perceptions, conflicting personal values, whether the conflict is real or perceived, differing goals, and even communication style. When you're working with people, conflict will likely arise at one point or another. But what happens if conflict is left unresolved? Well, coworkers can be left with hurt feelings, low morale, workers might feel less productive, maybe even lonely or depressed, and resentment and frustration can build up. All of these are stressful and will only lead to negativity in the workplace, which is not great for professional self care. So, let's talk about the main types of conflict management styles and what types of situations they might be useful for in the workplace and getting those conflicts handled. According to Coursera.org, there are 5 main types of conflict management styles: accommodating, avoiding, collaborating, competing, and compromising. The accommodating style is when you have high cooperation and low assertiveness. This will lead you to sacrifice your own needs so that the other person or persons involved get what they want. This can be helpful in situations where the conflict at hand is trivial or when you really need to speed things along and manage the conflict as quick as possible. The avoiding style involves bypassing and avoiding the conflict altogether. This style is not usually recommended because avoiding a conflict is often unproductive. However, this style can be useful in situations where you have something more important to deal with in the moment, when you need some time to think about the conflict, and when it's riskier to confront the conflict than to just let it go. The collaborating style involves high cooperation from everyone involved. This style is often the most respectful and everybody gets to benefit, rather than just one or a few of the people in conflict. This style is great for when you have everyone on the same power level, or when you have a lot of time to work through the conflict at hand. The competing style involves high assertiveness and low cooperation, because you're essentially forcing everyone involved to accept your needs in the conflict. It may help to think of this as the opposite of the accommodating style. This is mainly used when you're in a position of power over others involved, or when you need to resolve something quickly. Lastly, the compromising style involves moderate cooperation and assertiveness from everyone involved. Everyone gets to benefit in this style as well, but it may not leave everyone equally satisfied like the collaborating style does. This can be useful for situations where time is limited for conflict management. So now that you're familiar with the conflict management styles, here are some questions to consider when deciding what style might be best for your situation. How important are your individual wants and needs in this situation? Do you have time and energy to address the conflict at this current time? How much do you value those involved? What happens if your needs aren't met? Thank you very much for watching. And next up in the series, we have a video that's all about physical self care. Hope to see you there!